welcome back to another episode of Knicks Morning Koffee. I'm Mr. King. Y'all know my host, Joe Cool.
What's going on? Take two, because I was about to be Mr. King today.
I know. We got to do this. Sorry, y'all. We got to do this. Got our first win today.
Now you're seeing what day we record on.
All right. So, this show today, we're gonna talk about some things that just came up with the Knicks. But please like, comment, subscribe. Help us get to where we're trying to go. That was a nice Jets game, man.
Yeah.
We needed that.
I took a shower, get out the shower, we coming back.
Yeah, I thought it was over. I ain't gonna lie. I thought it was over. All right. Today we're gonna touch on a little bit about a battle of the shooting guards. And one reason is because Ian Begley this week reported, I don't know where his facts or fiction, wherever it came from, that the Knicks are going to increase the role of IQ, be it starting or off the bench. And he was saying that at the two guard position. So I was just curious to say if that's the role we're going to take, and IQ has earned it. I know a lot of people are looking to maybe have Grimes be the starting two guard, and then we also still have Fournier, who we know Tibbs loves his veterans. So I was thinking about today, and then we always keep in mind that to me RJ is a legitimate two guard. So it's like a whole lot that could be impact there with the Knicks guard rotation. But I was thinking about we just do a tail of the tape and see where we think they stand as far as IQ and Grimes, who probably could be the starting two guard.
Unless what they're gonna try to do is, well, go ahead, because I think now that you say that, I don't know if I'm thinking fast enough. Unless they're gonna do Brunson, Rose, IQ, Grimes, RJ.
I mean, that's a possibility. We're gonna get to that too, because something else came up with that. All right, so let's start with IQ and Grimes shooting. So for me, I was thinking about it's pretty much even in the shooting. Grimes is more of a pure shooter. IQ proved that he can hit the shot, particularly an open shot or a step back.
But yeah, it's not gonna be fair because IQ definitely had hit some. We're gonna call it Curry range shots.
Yeah. Well, they both did that. But I mean, they're both good shooters. But I think if you had to really think about, Grimes is probably more of the pure shooter.
Yeah. But
IQ is just as deadly with the jumper. So that's almost even. I probably would give that one to Grimes. But that's that could be pretty much even. But then you go down to shooting percentage. Now, given the same minutes, IQ probably double him in minutes for the majority of the year. Even though IQ had those stretches where he didn't shoot well in the middle part of the season, but Grimes being more of a volume shooter probably will give him a lesser percentage, because the more you shoot, the more you're gonna miss. So shooting percentage wise, you have to give that one to IQ. And then driving, it's hard to even pick that one in a sense, because IQ more drives for the floater. Even though we see in his summer workouts, he's working on getting to the basket. But then we'll see how that how that fares out in the season when teams are designed to stop you from getting to the basket. But Grimes seemed to be able to get to the basket. Not that he's done it a lot, but he kind of get to the basket with ease if he want to. He has that type of ability. And then playmaking, as far as playmaking is concerned, they're both shooters. And again, IQ with the more minutes shown that he's probably working on being a better playmaker at this stage right now. But between the two of them, they're both scoring guards in a way. But I guess we'll give that one to IQ. And then defense, IQ has shown he's improved, in his defense ability. But Grimes is more of a defensive player, more of a person who knows the nuances, of defensive schemes and how to stop somebody. So, and then you talk about experience, you have to give that to IQ just because of all the minutes he got. But in the past, prior to coming to us, high school, college, Grimes being All-American, showed that if he could handle the spotlight, if he's given the time and minutes, to get out there and play the way he's capable of playing. But just in terms of last year, experience the past 2 years, then we have to give that to IQ. But if I had to pick one of them today to be my starting two guard, I probably would go with Grimes, mainly because most defense, they don't really know about him yet. And he gives our offense a different type of a dynamic, than IQ do starting. Again, you don't lose with either one because they both prove that they can score 30 in a game.
Yeah.
Because they've done it, multiple times. But it's just the fact that when Ian Begley put it out there, and Grimes is working hard, he'll deserve every shot that he get. So you don't lose in either one of the scenarios, But I just don't want to be. I think they should be able to go in battle for that position.
Yeah, cause it's only strange because, like I said, IQ played mostly the PG position. Now, when I think about it, when Burks was playing PG, IQ was there.
Yeah.
So IQ was technically playing the two.
It's just like when Rose was coming in, he was technically playing the two. But their parts have been interchangeable. Okay, another thing
that changes a lot. Changes a lot when you think about why we struggle. Because how you gonna make a tighter rotation when your three guards are playing interchangeable from guard to small forward?
Yeah, and that's good. And that's good when you're a running team. It's perfect when you're a running team because it don't give the defense time to get set.
Yeah.
But I think we all know probably this year Brunson's gonna probably have the ball the bulk of the minutes.
Yeah, because I really don't, like I said, I really don't want D Rose playing too many minutes.
I don't think he's gonna have to. I don't think he's gonna have to.
I'd rather him. He probably wants to play though, so.
And he's a rhythm. And D Rose is a rhythm player.
That's what I'm saying. He probably wants to play.
Yeah.
But that's probably why he said it. Because now if IQ is sliding down, that means I don't know where you're gonna go with this.
Okay, all right, let's give you something. I'm gonna give you something to think about there. I was looking at one of those like pro-rated things where they predict teams where they're gonna finish. So I was talking about this on the other show that I do with Mr. King KMK. The guy that does those analytics, right? He didn't say what he think the Knicks record would be this year in the article. But now look at the name that's left out. When they talked about the starters, when they were talking about, they was putting in the guys that was going to play the most of the minutes. So they had Brunson, Fournier, RJ, Mitch, and Randall, right? And off the bench, they had IQ, Grimes, Obi, Cam, and Hardenstein. So he didn't have Derek in the mix. So that's a slight to Derek, but they're trying to predict our record. How you gonna have a better record if it was gonna be low, if you don't include Derrick Rose's veteran leadership?
Yeah, and he's not hurt, right?
No, nothing wrong with him. So yeah, it's just I understand that why, unless they know something we don't know, why would the guy do that? So you leave off Derrick Rose, now that leaves you with a totally young backcourt. A young, inexperienced backcourt, even though Brunson at his young age, he seems to have like a veteran mind. Yeah. But he's still young.
They seem to respect him. I know RJ had an interview with Monica McNutt.
Yeah.
And he was saying how Brunson already comes with like this leadership demeanor.
RJ said that?
Yeah, so it's like it's easy to listen to him.
Damn, RJ said that?
Yeah.
Wow.
He had he said when you talk about leaders, he was talking about Brunson. So he mentioned how Brunson has a. So I said that's what I was worried about. Are they going to respect Brunson as a leader coming in when, to tell you the truth, we didn't have no other than D Rose and now I forget his name, the big man, power forward. We had Taj Gibson. We really didn't call Randall our leader, nor did we call RJ our leader. But I feel better that knowing that they look at Brunson as a leader and somebody
that's good.
Yeah.
Shit, that's real good. And if Randall look at it the same way, we know they're doing stuff in the summertime, they gelling, but the highlights that I've seen, which is good that they've been playing together. That shows some interest there and some curiosity between the two players. But I see Randall doing his and Brunson doing his. I would like to see a connection like with him and Obi, what Brunson and Obi have when they're playing. Which is easy with Obi because he's not going to try to come back for the ball. He's going to get out and run. But as far as our young backcourt, if that article, if that was the whole serve, then to me the only way a young backcourt, when all four of your guys are young, is that the coaches would have to give them a whole lot of freedom to do what they do, and then the players would have to be able to respect each other, you know, just so that they know, you know, when you're doing this, I know I'm doing this. Like, you know, we trust what each other do out there on the court. So, all right, so let me ask you this then, because I was thinking about, and I saw it somewhere too, but you know, remember how I always say that maybe Obi could play small forward? Well, I saw where somebody else said he could see Randall as a small forward. Now, I said that 2 years ago. Could Randall steal some minutes at the small forward? And in a sense, that almost gives us, you know, a better rotation in a way as far as getting a lot of our guys in the game. Because the way I was looking at it, if Randall was the play small forward, and I know some people probably don't see that because they tired of Randall with the ball, but Randall's on the outside a lot of times anyway. And then at least if he is taking the ball off the rim, you know, he's doing it from a position, you know, a backcourt in a sense position. Because our small forward in Tibbs' system, they play more like the guard, more so than they play like the forwards. So that could probably alleviate some things there. And that would just shoot RJ down to the two. And the only problem, that creates a problem that somebody will get left out.
Yeah, I thought about, I don't know which way you would flip it, but I thought about Robinson, Randall, Reddish, like RJ, just so we could look taller. I thought about that too. Like,
Reddish is the same size as Obi. So if Randall started at the 3, now you could have Obi as the 4. And depending on how you want to flip it, if you still want to stay strong, you could have Obi at the 4, and then you could have Jericho Sims as his backup. But still, in the backcourt, that leaves an odd man out, because then you would have Derrick Rose as the point guard off the bench, and then you would have, so then who would it be, IQ or Grimes as a 2 guard off the bench?
Where the heck y'all putting Fournier at? Right.
Well, somebody would have to be the person when somebody gets hurt to stay with the rotation.
Fournier gonna play because he get that money. So
yeah, but I mean, yeah. At some point, they're gonna have to just get away from. And I like Fournier, so it don't matter to me if he plays. But at the same time, let's just say hypothetically, if Fournier and Reddish look like they the 2 odd men out, and you went with Jericho Sims as the backup power forward, if Randall was the 3, now you have Fournier in terms of injuries or foul trouble. Fournier can substitute for the 2 or the 3, right? So then that gives him his minutes. And then the same thing with Reddish. In terms of injury or foul trouble, he can substitute for the 3 or the 4. And then he would just be a stretch forward.
You know what's crazy? Now you're saying it's too many people we trying to play.
No, I'm not saying too many trying to play. What I mean is that you want to try to get the most out of, let's put it this way. Brunson's playing 35, close to 40 minutes a game. We already know that. How that's going to happen? Brunson's not playing 24 minutes a game.
Yeah.
We know that. Randall's not playing 24 minutes a game.
Okay.
So that's 2. Now maybe at center, between Mitch and Hardenstein, they might split 24. You know, to me,
I'm cool with them splitting.
Yeah, but to me, Mitch probably should maybe get a little bit more. But that's probably a gimme. At the 2 guard position, he's probably going to go with who's hot. And RJ's not playing 24 minutes a game. So we got 3 people that's playing at least 35 minutes a game. So somebody...
That's what I'm saying. The centers, they're going to have to split, right? So Sims, to me, doesn't really get any playing time. I feel like he'd get garbage.
Yeah, he won't get... he'll get that.
Right, so then let's move up. Then Randall, it's either, to me, when Randall come out, it's either Reddish or Obi getting those minutes. Right? We don't really know who, but one of them is getting them minutes. I can't really honestly say it's going to be Obi as much as I like Obi, because I'm thinking Reddish probably that good too. Then you got, who else after that? So now let's move up. Then it's RJ, small forward. Oh, maybe they do.
Yeah, it's a
So RJ.
It's two guys that's gonna lose. Either way you put it, the way it stands right now, only two. If you don't count Jericho, then only two are gonna lose.
How many people do a team really play off the bench? Do they play five, like a five?
A lot of teams play 5 and 5, but at most, the really good teams, they may play 8. They may play 7 strong, and then the other one. So they play 7.5 to 8. But it doesn't kill you if you had to play 10 if some of them get spot-up minutes.
How are they playing only 7 to 8? Because somebody got to come in. The center can't play.
You got teams where people stay in. Like you look at
That's what I'm saying. Who the heck stays in?
You look at what's the one now? He's playing. I think he's on Philly this year. Who's the guy that always bouncing around, but he's always on somebody's team? Damn. Damn. I can't think of his name. He was on Milwaukee when they won. He was on. Damn. Anyway, when you get a guy like him, they bounce around. He bounces around. He played with Boston. He played with. He bounces around and comes off the bench for your small forward and your power forward, and he plays a lot of minutes off the bench. So teams don't go. A lot of good teams, they don't go past 8, and they may go 7 with the 8th man playing a little bit, and then the 9th man may be playing a little bit. So you could get away with 10 men, because just because you're playing 10, some of it could be a spell. Like somebody coming in for Randall, they really coming in for a spell. That's why Obi don't get a whole lot of major minutes, because he's spelling Randall. You know, he's not coming in as a person which he should be, a person that they've been heavily relying on off the bench. He's pretty much spelling Randall for 15 minutes or whatever a game. You know, and then you might get a couple of minutes in the game where they might be on the court together. So that's how teams, when they count it, they count their major minutes rotation. They're not counting the guys that come in for a few minutes. But Tibbs don't do that with us.
That's where it's hard, because when you play when we playing stuff like 2K, I always refer back to 2K. When you make the trades for your players, you really just making your trades for your players, people that's going to stay in the game the whole time. So I think what's making it hard is where we're going to place people. Are we going to place them in their proper position or up one?
Yeah.
That's what makes it so hard.
I mean,
so like that's a good problem probably to have, because that means you got a lot of people that can play.
Yeah.
And the bad part is that means nobody's really so much better than the other.
No, they ain't. Technically, they ain't.
That's what I'm saying. So it's almost like.
Look, I looked at somebody's Instagram thing this morning, and then the reason why I commented, because it was about Reddish, how Reddish needs to play, and how, the guy was saying all this stuff about Reddish, and he was right about everything he said about Reddish, but he just couldn't figure out why he can't crack the rotation. And I really believe that it's his. I mean, sometimes when you make it look too easy, it look like you're not working hard. And I don't know what Tibbs' thing is, but that's what it seemed like to me with him. It's like he's not hustling to the play. Now he probably is, but it don't look like it, because things come to him so easy. Like he can get the ball out on the perimeter, and he can get to the hole like a Tracy McGrady, and it just looks so smooth. It looked like he ain't got, And Tibbs probably looking like people looking like they're running through a brick wall. Sometimes just because you playing hard don't mean you're always playing good.
Yeah, but what make it so hard too, let's just say, nobody can drop down the center. So all right, so that's a rotation right there. Then that small forward, power forward.
Well, Jericho, yeah.
Jericho not getting no playing time.
Well, he probably is.
That's something I added. Like Jericho get playing time. I'm kind of shocked still.
No, he probably won't.
As good as we think he is,
yeah, it'll be an injury.
I'm shocked he get play time.
Yeah.
I think it's just that middle area. Like when you say RJ playing the 2, now I kind of like that better. But then where's Grimes going?
Right, or unless it was where's Rose going?
Listen, and then we so stuck. We ain't even mention McBride. Nah.
All right, okay, let's throw this out there then with McBride. They just signed Brunson's college mate with Villanova that we had last year. Remember I said he could shoot, but he got a couple of times to get some shots off, but he just wouldn't have been in the rotation. So now they signed him to a partially guaranteed contract. So that means he's coming to training camp, and that probably is to appease Brunson. Now, that guy can shoot. It's just that where you going to put him. And then it was a few weeks ago, they had another guy they signed. He was like a small forward, two-guard, small forward type guy. I forget his name. Looked like he could be helpful, but we already so stacked at that position. Where would these guys go unless you're going to subtract people that we already have? You know, so it's like, and then you got the Trevor Kills, whatever his name is from Duke. That we know he ain't playing. He's going to the G League. But again, these are opportunities people are going to be getting in training camp.
They try to tell me he only but 16. Like, man, he ain't playing.
Nah, just that. I think we should go in. If we
he's just so young. What that mean?
Nah, he's going to G League. But I think we should go with the guys we got in training camp and go in with a mindset and let somebody beat somebody out.
That boy needs some Similac.
He's young, but I mean, again, you know, he's there. You got the 3 Duke. I saw a thing up the other day. They showed Reddish, him, and RJ. That ain't happening. Like, all 3 of them ain't going to be on the roster. So they might as well get that out their mind. But again, why are we so busy trying to be cluttered at guard? We already cluttered at guard. Now, you got to bring in people to make people work hard. But we have enough to try to fight through a rotation in the guards we got because two of them is odd man out. Only because RJ and Brunson going to get a whole lot of minutes. Not like in the past couple of years where they almost split time. No matter who it is. But I think, Cream rises to the top. If you can even say that, because Tibbs got his own way. Tibbs got his own way of looking at stuff. But IQ should play, yeah. But I know Grimes definitely need to be playing. But Grimes need to be in the rotation.
I'm saying that both of them need to be playing. And then Derrick Rose.
Yeah, somebody's.
I don't even know if he's convinced that he might not get in the game. He's going to be sitting there talking. I don't think he's ready for that.
I don't know. That's gonna be it's gonna be hard on Tibbs when you're thinking about all these people that
Now D Rose, if D-Rose wasn't there, I wouldn't feel so bad, right?
Yeah, be totally different. Look, if he don't, we need his leadership. But I'm all right now if he don't get to play as much.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't want him to play as much anyway. So like, what minutes did I really think he was gonna get? Maybe if he was in trouble and like quickly just not getting it done as insurance. Like you mess up, D Rose right there.
Yeah. Because IQ going into year 3. So now going into year 3, you got to get out there and do it. Potential for you is over now. And you've shown
my critique
past 20 minutes, 20 games last year.
My critique is I just don't like the way his jump shot looked. But then I seen Steph Curry jump shot back in the day and I was like, I ain't like the way that looked neither.
Yeah, but
like almost like he's not strong enough. Like either he too strong or it look like he's not strong enough the way he shoot it.
Yeah, but it's deadly, so.
Yeah.
Look at Reggie Miller. When your shot is deadly, they don't care how ugly it look.
True.
So hey, all right. So let me ask you, just to throw a little wrinkle in the curve.
My bad, God. This is what happens when you just come in and get the questions answered to you. You just start rambling and thinking.
Yeah. Let me, because I was thinking about this, as soon as it happened. We know what's going on out there in Phoenix, right? And we thought it was talking about trying to stay with our team.
Yeah,
their owner pulling a thing like the guy did with the Clippers years ago. He had used the N-word X amount of times.
Okay.
So they suspended him for a year, fined him $10 million. Now Chris Paul's there. So, Chris Paul commented. I looked on the Phoenix thing, and I haven't seen where Devin Booker commented on anything. Because you don't even know how these guys feel about it. Because from my understanding, they like this guy. So, they're just going to just jump to conclusions. But a lot of them are saying they heard the tapes or whatever it was, or the transcripts, where he actually used the N-word on several occasions. And I'm not even going to get into the judging the thing like the guy did with the Clippers. But what I'm looking at is, being that Devin Booker is a CAA guy and he is a Kentucky guy, would you take the temperature?
Hell yeah.
Right? And then also, because you're gonna realize if you take the temperature to see where his mindset is at, in terms of wanting to get out of there. People, yeah, but if it doesn't happen, now you're gonna further alienate your team. But what would you give? Because I was looking at his salary. He's making 33.5 this year. He's making 36 next year. Then he's an unrestricted free agent in 2024.
Devin Booker, let's give him some of them picks. Let's give him RJ. Let's give him. Damn, RJ, I love you. I'm sorry. But we gotta give him somebody. Randall.
Yeah, but I mean, if they would have took Randall, that's because that side Randall got Randall makes our most money.
But you gotta make him happy too, so you gotta throw in.
Yeah, you gotta throw in picks, you gotta throw in young guys.
I'm happy with the rotation. Now the rotation gets tighter. Now quickly gets to play. Then Grimes get to play. Yeah, Obi get to play.
They probably would want Randall and RJ.
That's what I'm saying. So Reddish, Obi, like somebody can't play, and somebody got to get traded. That's all I'm like. That's where my mind is going.
Now he's different than
somebody got to get traded to see where the direction of the Knicks is going to take over. Adding Fournier and Randall, like once they get traded and one of those young guys get traded, then we can see where we're going. That's the only way we get in the star.
Oh man, you get that a deal such as that, you could almost look like, say they did want RJ and Randall.
Antetokounmpo ain't tired of Milwaukee.
He ain't never gonna be tired. Long if somebody's willing to employ his brother, because wherever he goes, like you tell him.
JR and Chris Smith. Somebody willing, God willing.
Yeah, but you take all three brothers, and ain't there another one? Antetokounmpo's?
Is there three brothers on there?
I think no. I'm saying they got 2 years ago. The other one was on the Lakers.
Well, he did say if you take all three.
Yes, I mean if I'm the Knicks, and they got, I think it's 4 brothers. And I don't know if he's in the NBA, but he's not in the NBA, but I'll bring him to the NBA. 2 of them could probably play, so hey. But I mean, Devin Booker would definitely give you something to look forward to, because you got to hypothetically, I know we're looking at keep our team the way it is, and we want the same thing.
Yeah,
but
that's where my mind was going too. I'm looking at the future.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it because
everybody keep looking at the now. Like, nah, stop looking at the now, and then look at who's coming out. Somebody gonna want to walk on, because now I'm thinking about what's the name that got traded? Donovan Mitchell. Listen, 3 years, he might be like, yo, I'm out. He coming. 3 years, he probably might be a better player.
Well, you saw his interview.
Yeah, he wanted to come in.
Thought he was coming. Yeah, he was just his. And then, I mean, he had to do what he got to do in the interview to make it seem like when I found out I was excited. I look at, you got a nice team you're gonna be there with, but in your heart of hearts, you thought you was in New York.
What superstar want to come home?
Yeah, and his house is in Connecticut.
Listen,
so he thought he was coming home.
Listen, Jokic in Denver, how long you think that might last?
He ain't going away.
I'm just not. How long y'all think that might last?
That's gonna last, Joey. I think so. Because I mean, he's there, and he got his 2 bodyguard brothers.
I don't think
that's there with him holding it down.
I don't know. I'm not convinced he wants to stay. Embiid, he can stay in Philly.
No, we don't need Embiid.
Yeah, he can stay in Philly.
The game's going to just keep on changing to guard-oriented play. So you start clogging that middle up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, what other stars can be?
Well, I mean, because look at the people we still was linked to, and then they're still trying to talk about. And you talked about it last week with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. We don't. He's a good guard, but we don't need. In this case, we don't need him. Now the OG Anunoby, he'd be a nice small forward to have. Because you could start a guy like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you got to give up.
Yeah, when you start thinking about pieces, then the sky's the limit. Bro.
Yeah.
I'm over here.
I mean, pieces that might be available to you. I'm talking not even hypothetically available to you. Now, of course, Booker is hypothetical, but that's a hypothetical situation.
Yeah,
you got to think about.
Though. But this the year. This the year that we figure out who we think as fans like we should keep, and they got to go. Like, not even if they doing bad. It's just this will probably work better with just them with this. But it's hard to say because you fall in love with your players. Like, you like, oh, I love it.
Look, you know why I say it has to work? The reason why I say this, I know 2 weeks ago we was talking about this is the make or break season, but the reason why this thing got to work is because the past 4 or 5 years, longer than that, but realistically now, with money and picks, we still ain't getting nobody.
Yeah.
Like, people still ain't coming for whatever the reasons. Having money and picks ain't getting it done. So we gotta hope and pray that these young guys that we got are panning out to whatever we thought they were gonna be, because most of them was all Americans. Everybody we got was damn near college All-Americans. Definitely was high school All-Americans. So there's superstars, just for whatever the reason, it's not getting done. Everybody loved the Garden, but I don't think people just love playing in New York. They, as a home.
My thing, this is where the money at. Because you see what they was doing for Melo. Like, why you don't want to come in and get that?
because people want to protect their privacy. Now, Melo was pretty private, you know.
Melo was going to the bodega with a hoodie on.
Undercover. Yeah, I mean, nobody want nobody in their business like that.
Y'all don't want no chopped cheese, 10 Timberlands? Like, what's going on?
Listen, I don't know, but it's got to work because people just ain't coming. So we ain't making the deals for it. I don't know, you know, and we're all high on, like I suppose the article was saying about, and I don't know if I believe that the Utah management, once World Wide West went to one of the playoff games, then he already knew he didn't want to deal with the Knicks. You know, as far as the management, as far as Utah management, fellas was slapping their face for him to be sitting courtside, knowing the relationship that they have, you know, with some of the players. But again, that's you know, water under the bridge now. But just that this team we got, it just got to gel. Yeah, it has to gel. All right. One more thing I want to talk about. Somebody had mentioned it last week, and I don't even know where our management minds stand on that in terms of the coaching staff when they said this was Tibbs' make or break season. So what would you think about? First, do you think management would move on from Tibbs, and then two, is it his make or break season?
They ain't moving on from Tibbs. They said this is a family affair. Y'all better check. I ain't want to. They said it's a family affair. Ain't Tibbs in it?
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So that's it. They ain't blaming Tibbs. If the Knicks don't play no defense, they ain't blaming Tibbs.
Well, you know what, and then two, even on the terms of
we made it to the playoffs. We blame Randall. We didn't even blame Tibbs. So.
I did. Not taking Randall out of the game. Now this is what Uncle Bobby said to me a few weeks back. In reference to, like, he didn't mention it, he wasn't implying about why the Knicks aren't making deals. But he was saying that the Knicks are going to hold on to some chips because of DeJuan Wagner's son in Camden, New Jersey, which is all part of that Philly connection that Wes and Leon them got. That they're going to hold out, that they might be trying to hold out for him.
See, I don't even know we should have said that on the show because you know they be watching.
Hey, listen, He ain't now. I remember the father, you know, growing up in Jersey and father in Camden, you know, All-American. Then you get DeJuan Wagner, All-American in college. Go to, you know, Cleveland. You know, do all right his first year or two before the injuries took him out of the NBA, and then now his son and all that type of family stuff they got. And if they trying to pull stuff like that, and to me, he's not. They got him listed as a #1 player in high school, but he's not on that level to me. And somehow we got to get away from that family. Family was supposed to have been when y'all came in, meaning management, it was the CAA ties and the Kentucky ties. That was supposed to be the family. You know, remember Michael Kidd Gilchrist, who's also from down in Camden. Remember, we brought him in, but then he got hurt, and then they had to ship him out. But you know, you're looking at all the guys from down there, but you're not looking at the big picture of the people that's supposed to be available that even went to Kentucky. You know, i.e. a Devin Booker, you know, Anthony Davis, them, you know, the big name guys that went to Kentucky. Yeah, so that's supposed to be the family.
I saw Anthony Davis rumor that bringing him to the Knicks, but I don't know. He get hurt too much for me.
Yeah, but I mean, I still would take my chances.
They had him in 2K getting hurt.
Hey, I get hurt in the video game. Yeah, I'd take my chances though with him because I mean, I think he would accept if he's not a primary.
Yeah, but you'll give up what? Like, I can see we giving up players that, like I said, if we giving up the Randalls, the Fourniers. Yeah. And then maybe, that's saying nobody crucial to what we would have on a rotation. Maybe then Mitchell, because then we got the other Hartstein right behind him. And then we got Jericho after that. So that if they giving up that, then yeah, but not RJ, Quickly, Grime, not
yeah, they're gonna.
We gotta take all our veterans in our center, and then y'all can have that.
Yeah, they would definitely want some young pieces though.
But nah, then I'm want. See, I might get greedy. I want somebody else they got. Like who the Lakers got? I don't want Schroeder. Schroeder.
They don't actually. Other than Davis, they don't got nobody I want.
That's what I'm saying. They already got that I can think of.
All right, so let's look at one more thing before we go.
They need to put us in the room, man. In the boardroom.
Listen,
who y'all got available?
We have. I listen. You make me.
Now they might get me for tempering.
You put me in there, we're going to get somebody we want. You know, because something about how we going about these negotiations ain't getting it done. I don't know how we making our phone calls. Yeah, we all love Leon and West, but it's not, the players are not coming through the door. So if we can't develop our draft picks, it don't matter who in the boardroom.
They need somebody in the boardroom that speak like Denzel. Like, all right, okay, this is what you gonna get.
All right, so I just wanted to switch gears for a second. Just talk about, you know, I'm an old Laker fan from back in the day. So I was watching something on YouTube yesterday and today where the Lakers had a 80s players reunion practice. Magic, Pat Riley coaching the practice. The trainer, everybody, Kareem, everybody was there. That you know, that was nice. I said, damn, the Knicks need to do something like that. We don't got the star power, because a lot of them guys that was the Lakers, even if they was only Lakers for 2 years, they got a championship. So they linked to the Lakers. A lot of our guys
Pat over here coaching.
wouldn't be linked. He wouldn't be linked to that. Yeah, I wonder how the Heat felt about that, but he's the president, right, of the Miami Heat. So, but that had to be nice, and I thought that should have been an open practice that they could have raised money for a charity for. But that was nice to see. All right, so unless you got something else to talk about, I'm done for today.
Nah, next better do sound.
Nah, so well, I mean, let's look. We all know, everybody knows that, and the training camp starts in a week, and between training camp and that a week or two up into the season, you know, a lot of leaves gonna fall off the tree. So even when we get our roster, somebody gonna shake through that you might want. I just think we should go into training camp with a mindset on who's gonna be where and try to just jumpstart our season right from training camp. And then if you got to make a move, make a move. But let guys know going in that this is what it is. You know, there ain't too much fighting for a spot. You already know what everybody can do. Unless they come back, you know, 3,000% better than how they left, then this is what it is. Let's go with this. Let's get everybody acclimated to a system and start the season strong. You know, and then you also got to look at when December 10th come along, when guys who have became free agents later that could sign, you know, other things are going to drop there too. So I just think forget about everything else. Even though we're talking about trades and scenarios, and let's try to just start the season. Let's start training camp as if it is the season. You know, iron out all the wrinkles and be ready to go on day one. All right, with that said, please like, comment, subscribe. This show is going to air 7:30 tomorrow morning, every Monday morning at 7. If you're able to watch it at that time, you can communicate back and forth with us in real time. All right, till next time, peace.
Peace.